Vindos ao canal Clips MMA. É, galera, o que todos temiam aconteceu. Alex Poatan perdeu para o Magomed Ankalaev de uma forma um tanto amarga, sem aquela ofensividade que estamos acostumados a ver do Alex. A impressão que ficou é que ele poderia ter feito mais, tentado machucar mais o russo. Confiram a análise do Daniel Cormier, já se inscrevam aí no canal e bora!
We just wrapped UFC 313. There's a new light heavyweight champion, and it's Magomed Ankalaev. Alex Pereira got beat, and honestly, guys, I was calling the fights and kind of, we as commentators and as human beings, you watch these fights with the anticipation that something else may happen, that something may change. But reality is it wasn't. It was never going to change. It was always going to be Magomed Ankalaev with the way that it was going. He was winning the fight, and it was kind of hard to give him the credit that he deserved just because we have seen Pereira on so many occasions flip a fight. Guys, this is 2 fights in a row where we have seen Poatan kind of losing. Tonight he wasn't able to work himself back into the fight. Magomed Ankalaev fought a beautiful fight. And honestly, Pereira landed a few jabs. In round 5, he landed a nice head kick. But the vast majority of the fight, it was Magomed Ankalaev pressuring him, able to land shots. Maybe not big shots, but land shots and fight him very competitively on the feet. I believe that the reason he was able to fight him so well on the feet, though, is because he has that threat of the wrestling. And when you have that threat of the wrestling, it makes you a much harder person to deal with. That was actually crazy. Surprising that happened. That normally never happens when I'm doing these. Pressure, pace, wasn't able to secure the takedowns like we thought he might. So on that front, Alex Pereira was much better than we thought. He defended 11 of 11 takedowns for Magomed Ankalaev. Every level change he matched. Every time he got to his legs, he was able to change the position. But what happened was Ankalaev was unwilling to take a back step. And by being unwilling to take a back step, he really did put the champion Poatan in some rough positions. You know, what tonight showed, and you heard the urgency in the corner of Alex Pereira, tonight showed that he's just not as good when he has to go backwards. Still a good fighter. He was still in the fight. But Ankalaev had more success than we anticipated because he was able to implement that game plan. John Anik said going into round 5, it could be 3-1 Ankalaev, it could be 2-2. It would be hard for me to imagine a card that Pereira was up 3-1. And I was like, I think it's 2-2. I was wrong. It was 3-1 Ankalaev because Pereira won the 5th round. And he won it pretty convincingly, probably had his best round of the fight outside of round 1. But what's next, right? When you have a champion like Poatan, who has as many title defenses as he had, I think 3. I'm over here trying to ask for some help. I believe he earns a title fight again, a rematch, just because there really is no clear person as to who should fight Magomed Ankalaev right now. I think these guys should fight again because I believe that both would fight better. Both would fight better if they had to fight each other again. I think that it could be another fun fight. You know, wrestling is much more than just takedowns. Wrestling is the clinch. Wrestling is holding someone against the octagon side. Wrestling is forcing a man to be in a position that he doesn't want to be. That's not an easy thing to do. When Alex Pereira wants to get off the octagon side, he's big and strong enough to get off the octagon side, unless he's fighting against Magomed Ankalaev. I think Ankalaev would probably respect the wrestling of Pereira more going into a rematch, so he may change his approach a little bit. But ultimately, he fought a wonderful fight and showed that he was not wrong in saying I could stand with him. Because he did have to stand for 25 minutes against the most dangerous striker in the UFC, possibly UFC history, and he came out as the champion. But I want to see a rematch between these two. I don't see anyone else that should be fighting Magomed Ankalaev for that belt. But Poatan, Alex Pereira.